Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and we are setting off in the GR Corolla. This is my first official canyon drive in the GR Corolla. I've had a chance to drive a couple basically around the block because they were pre-sold to dealers, but you know, now I get to actually get into the car and see how it feels on some fun twisty roads. So the first thing I'm actually kind of surprised with is the steering. So I thought the steering with the Corolla would be a lot more sporty and direct, and it's good, but it's not as good as I initially expected it to be. Now I do have this in the 60-40 split, so I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it into the track setting with a little dial there at the bottom and see if that, you know, kind of changes the steering feel a little bit, because it's going to be sending, it's going to be 50-50 split, so a little bit more power to the rear instead of sending more power to the front. Now I do have the auto rev match function on with this, and I can tell you that it helps out quite substantially with this car. I'm going to interrupt myself for an acceleration here. Now this thing's pretty quick. This 3-cylinder, 300 horsepower is pretty dang quick. Yeah, this is it's a fun manual transmission. I will say it's really sharp into the gates, and this car actually, it handles, I mean, obviously, you know, it's a hot hatch, so you expect it to handle well, but it really does handle so well. Yeah, and the auto rev match, what I was saying earlier is it helps out a lot. So 3 cylinders and 4 cylinders, they are not the most blippable powertrains on the planet. And so having a computer do it for you, yes, I understand it takes away from the experience for some people, but the thing that's nice is it's perfect with the RPMs. Again, you can get used to it, and you can, you know, obviously tune yourself to be able to blip it perfectly with a 3-cylinder or 4-cylinder, but it's just not great. You have to at least go up to, like, you know, a V6 or a V8 or an inline 6 for you to get like a real, typically for really blippable. The only 4-cylinder that I feel like is super blippable is the Boxer 4 cylinders. Like you get a WRX or an STI, and those things, I mean, you blip the throttle and it just, those things want to rev up, so it's a lot easier to manage overall. Yeah, the auto rev match, it's pretty smooth as well, so I think they've done a really good job with that system. Now, again, still in the track mode here, and it has like this really grippy feel. There's the Integra, that one's a fun one. Okay, so we're gonna kind of hustle with the Corolla a little bit. Again, still in the track mode here, so we got our 50-50 split. I can feel the differential actually working. This has a limited slip differential. Man, this is a sharp car. Yeah, it'll let you, yeah, it'll even bounce off, that's fun, it'll let you bounce off the rev limiter. I feel like that's a Toyota and Lexus thing. I just had the LC500 as a tester this week, and that thing will let you bounce off the rev limiter as well. It kind of adds to the excitement of the car. Man, I'm learning so much about this GR Corolla just from this one drive. So I've got some hot takes here with this car. So first off, exterior styling, I think that Toyota did a pretty good job with the styling overall. I mean, the new Corolla looks really good, and the GR adds just a level of aggression to it. Yeah, this thing pulls out of corners so hard. It's like the grip level with this car is actually really good. But with that being said, the one thing that is, you know, kind of difficult is that the steering, there's not a lot of feedback, and it's got a little bit of on-center vagueness. And so I feel really confident going through the corner with the chassis and everything, but I don't feel super confident with the steering. The steering kind of, you know, makes me feel a little bit iffy. So it's kind of like a catch-22 type situation with that. Well, we got to do another acceleration. Man, this thing's fun. So I want to get through my hot takes here on the GR Corolla. So here's the deal with the steering. Like I said, not a lot of confidence. Like when you go through the corners, the chassis, it feels really like tight. It feels really good. The steering though, not a lot of confidence there. The shifter's good. It's notchy into the gates, but it almost has like a slightly loose feel that I don't exactly like. It doesn't feel like with the Honda Civic Type R, for example, I haven't driven the new one, but I drove the previous generation. That was so tight in the gates, and everything with the shifter felt super tight. This kind of has a slightly loose feel to it. But aside from that, like, super powerful car, 3 cylinders, so cool. It sounds great. And, you know, for a 3-cylinder, it sounds really good. And tons of grip. I mean, it's averaging over 20 miles per gallon. So, I mean, it's a small car, so it's not like the best fuel economy for a small car, but for a sports car like this, it's good. The seats are actually really comfortable in the GR. So this would be a really fun daily drivable car. I think that Toyota did a good job with splitting the middle in terms of performance and daily drivability, because this has suspension, and I'm in the sport mode. This has suspension that's comfortable enough for daily driving, and it's got seats that are comfortable enough for daily driving, but they're also aggressive and buckety enough so that you can go around corners really fast and you don't feel like you're gonna fly all over the place. And so I think they did a good job with the overall balance on this car. But what I will say is, I don't think I've watched reviews in the GR Corolla and everyone's like, this is the most exciting, like, thrilling, you know, precise, this and that. And it's really good, but again, the steering, I feel like, is a little bit of a letdown in this car. And it's like almost there, but it's not as performance-y as I guess I thought it would be based on what I've heard other journalists post on this car. I think it's more like, it really does kind of fill the ethos of the hot hatch, where it's basically taking a commuter car and souping it up. It's not full-on sports car quite yet. But with that being said, I'm gonna pop it into the rear-wheel drive mode. So, well, it's still sending some power to the front. Let's see how this feels. You can feel more of a shove from the back with that 30-70 split. Maybe that's what you need to do with this car, is you have to have it in the rear biased mode, because now it feels, and I want to go around a few more of these corners to really see, but now it feels sportier. It feels more like, and it helps out so much. Yeah, they did a really good job with that mode. Yeah, I'll go around this corner and then we'll I guess we'll cap it off fully. Man, these smaller engines, they hate being at high RPMs. You can tell, like, just like how the engine's groaning and everything. You can tell it's like, I don't want to be at that high of an RPM. Okay, so I'm gonna slow down a bit here so we can kind of feel it. Yeah, so yeah, rear-wheel drive mode, it fixes my complaints about the sporty feel of the Corolla. It definitely feels a lot better in this mode. Feels, yeah, way more like a sports car, and the steering actually feels better too. It somehow feels like slightly, it still has a little bit of vagueness, so it's not perfect. But yeah, this is the mode to drive it in. Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah, Toyota did a dang good job on this GR Corolla. Let me know what you guys think.